Some might say that week 15 of an NFL basketball season is a little bit like a car crash. You know it's bad. You know it's going to be bad, but you just can't help but look away and hope for the best. I hope everyone's okay. Well, spoiler alert, all your best ball teams are not okay, but hopefully you came out with a handful of good ones. You survived Kyle Pitts, or you had Kyle Pitts or Trey McBride or Travion Henderson. Maybe you hopefully didn't have Jahmyr Gibbs or Justin Jefferson, or what a chaotic week. The list will go on and on. We'll talk about it all right now. We'll talk about some of the sweats we have leading into Monday Night Football. You can share your sweats. Myself, Eric Beinford, and Rob Coakley. We're going to get into all of the chaos of Week 15 here at Spike Week. Let's do it. All right, Rob, we got a doozy of a game this evening, the old Aaron Rodgers Tua Tagovailoa Bowl to decide our fates in Week 15. But quickly, before we get into all of the, wow, what a Week 15 we have had already. I can't wait to see what's in store for tonight's game. I do just want to announce to the people, if you've not seen, if you didn't see some of the shows last week, or maybe you're not in the Spike Week Discord, we are running a special sale on our annual subscription all the way up until the end of the year, right? It's the best time of the year and the worst, but the best time of the year for best ballers, right? We got the best ball playoffs that we're talking about here tonight. You can sweat your teams with our tools. You can draft new teams. MLB is out there. Golf is out there. There's a college football playoff best ball tournament. That's a lot of fun. We got rankings up for that. Everything under the Spike Week umbrella you get with our premium subscription. And from now until the end of this month, if you use code PLAYOFFS25, all this information is in the description, by the way, you can get 40% off of the annual subscription at Spike Week. That's the Draft Hacker, that's Draft IQ, which you'll probably see here today. That's all of the premium content, rankings for every sport site. I just updated the NFL playoff best ball rankings this afternoon because the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs are eliminated. The Lions are nearing being eliminated. It's total chaos, but absolutely everything we do here at Spike Week 1 subscription and 40% off on the annual product, all that in the description below. Anyway.
Did you get the Draft Hacker for next NFL season with that annual subscription? 40% off. And the Way Too Early tournament is coming quicker than you think. So
exactly,
jump on that.
We're going to be talking 2026 drafts way before, it's way quicker than you think that it is. And yeah, I think it's a good time, right? It's a fun time to use them for the playoff best ball and these other sports that you might be interested in, but it'll keep you by now, and you'll be set up through all of next summer. And like you said, for the big board and everything. Enough of the housekeeping, because we got a lot to get into for Week 15. There was so much in Week 15, and I imagine that the best ball world is feeling this same thing. I didn't even you don't know this, generally speaking, in Week 15, totally what to root for. So I picked out a handful of teams that I was kind of rooting for, higher stake stuff, whatever. And there were so many random spikes, but it paired with so many higher owned, high advance rate players dudding. That created such a weird, chaotic week. And we say this all the time, somebody with a really high advance rate could get wiped out in Week 15. That was really possible really, really possible this year. So it was just like I said, it's always chaotic. We always say these things this year's crazier than others. That Week 15 specifically felt way more over the top, that some of the scores people are putting up, and it has none of the there's no Pickens, there's no JT, there's no Gibbs, there's no Dak, there's no none of those guys on these teams, and they're scoring 200 and something points in Week 15. Just total chaos.
It is the craziest pods that you could look at, because you can look at some of the pods you're advancing in, some of the pods you're not advancing in. Look at the scores that are getting through right now. Some are insanely high scores. Some are the lowest pod you've ever seen in your life because it just the way it worked out. And everybody's crying, which is to be expected for Week 15. Look, it's a new year. A lot of new people signed up for best ball this year. We've tried to preach it. I don't think people realized to your point, this is the biggest drop of the roller coaster for Week 15 we've had. But Week 15 is always a roller coaster. You are losing teams. No matter
You're always going to lose, right? It's just this year, kind of the way in which it happened. you're just always like, just think of the sheer math. And let's just take Best Ball Mania as an example. Best Ball Mania is it's a little bit hyperbolic because it's the hardest to advance, right? But let's say you draft 150 teams, you advance 50, 33% advance rate. Insane, right? That's like you're in the upper echelon of advance rate, top whatever percent. Your expectation, right? This is if everything goes according to plan, is call it 3 teams that you would still have alive in week 16. Not 3 teams in the final, 3 teams in week 16, which then means you're a huge underdog to even make the final in Best Ball Mania, advancing 33% of teams just based on the sheer math. Now take into account the fact that if you advance 33% of teams, right, you advance 50. 50 is just easy math. You probably have some JT and Jahmyr Gibbs and right? You have those guys. And so then when they dud, it wipes you out big time. Of course, you can still, right? But there's like people with 50 advancing teams that have none in week 16. There's some with right, 1 or 2 or 3. You'll get a handful of people with more. But just like that, this just is the game. Week 15 is the most simultaneously the most fun and the most cruel and like torturous week of the season, because no matter how awesome your regular season went, it's going to feel like you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel bad like on this Monday, like almost no matter what, because just the math of these small numbers, like it hits you, you're like hit like, oh my God, I have 8 teams. I drafted 1,000 teams and I ran good and I have 8 teams left. Like that's just mentally, it breaks your brain.
Yeah. But the other thing is too, like to your point, the people that get those huge advance rates, there's going to be years that they get 8 or 9 of those 40 to 50 teams through to week 16 as well. So like, it is a double-edged sword. We talk about that double-edged sword all year. We've been on the JT thing this entire year because everyone's like, had to have JT to win, had to have JT. And I think both of us were just like, buddy, it's week 7. Like, like if you're talking about cumulative scoring, sure. Like that's fine. But when we're talking about playoffs, like we just went through this 12 months ago with Saquon Barkley. And everything just ran out for the JT thing. He scored 11 points in half-point PPR yesterday. Like it's so a huge chunk of the field that got through is going to get obliterated by those teams. Like the JT advancement rate has to be in the gutter. You have other guys like that as well. George Pickens was a huge guy. Did he play last night? Nobody knows.
I don't know if he knows.
I mean, it's insane. So like you get these things every single year, but when we get out of this year, for some reason, people forget the heart of week 15. They remember the regular season of the guys that they needed, and it's a vicious cycle, but it is what it is every year after year. I mean, we've seen it in Twitter. We've seen it in Discord. It is what it is. It sucks. I've learned to not get as mad as like I used to and just let the chaos, embrace the chaos. We'll start looking at some of my teams in your teams tonight that we have to look at. I have a real weird situation for one of them, but we'll look at that in a little bit.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, and perfect is not the correct term in this scenario. But just when we've been playing since, I don't know about, I don't want to speak for you, like, since the days of draft.com, right? Like playing and like whatever the heck they call it, their main tournament and stuff. And I'm certain that I actually remember, just a quick side diatribe, that year, that the last year of draft was Jameis was still on the Bucs. This was Brady was still around on the Patriots, right? I'm trying to remember Lamar, first year of Lamar on so like not rookie year of Lamar where he backed up Flacco, like MVP, first MVP Lamar season. And he's like a round 13 pick, right? How the times have changed, by the way. Trey Lance went in the 6th fucking round, and Lamar Jackson was, as a sophomore, was going in like round 13 in best ball drafts. But anyway, like crushed. I was like a insane advance rate. It was, what we know Jameis as now was like even much better back then. That was the year he threw for 5,000 yards. That was Godwin and Evans, OJ Howard, RIP. Just what a disaster.
God,
like
OJ Howard.
I had so much OJ Howard. He was like Kyle Pitts before Kyle Pitts. But anyway, I say this to say, like, you start, like, you don't get immune, because yesterday I was tilting Jahmyr Gibbs. That was the time I tilted yesterday, was the Jahmyr Gibbs outcome. But because I didn't need a big game. I was just like, just give me like the most mediocre Jahmyr Gibbs game, and I'm in good shape in a lot of scenarios. And we get 9 PPR points, which was really frustrating. But you just kind of, like, going in, it's going to be bad. And you're just like, I just want to have teams. Like, I don't care if it's, we make jokes. I don't care if it's in the King of the Desert qualifier. Like, I don't care if it's in the $3, $2, $1. Yeah. Like, I don't care what it is. Just get me something through, get me something to root for, because that's what I do. That's what I do this for. And like, we joke about the all it takes is one, a chip in a chair, and all these cliches, but it's true. Like, look at the teams. Go look at some of the teams that won your pods. You would, we also say this all the time. You would have never picked that team heading into the playoffs, right? So the same thing could be said for next week, because now think about it. All those teams, right? All the Pitts, ETN, Trey McBride, which of course I'm going to need, but like, all those teams are going to consolidate together into the playoffs. And in week 16, it's like, okay, now, right, like somebody mentioned in the chat, Josh is down to one team, but it's Gibbs. And that's awesome. Like, that's awesome. Like, you only have one team. That part sucks. But like, what you need to root for now. It's like, get low-owned Jahmyr Gibbs through, root for that dude now. You have a pathway to having an awesome season still with only one team left. And it's like, it's really easy to get upset and be very frustrated, but that is just the game that we play, and we just gotta deal with the variance, because also it sucks because it's once a year, right? So that's why it's upsetting. We put a lot of time in, and then we have to wait another calendar year to do it again. But like, it could be the stone opposite for you next year or in 2 years, right? In 2 years, you're like, oh, I actually only had a 14% advance rate, and I got 8 teams in BBM into week 16. Right? Like, things change year over year, and you just can't let it bother you too much. Though we're here to like let it out. I get it. We're all experiencing the frustrations, right? I was experiencing the Jahmyr Gibbs thing. It happens. The Carolina Panthers committing that personal foul. Were you watching that?
Yeah.
Because we needed overtime on our 5-5-5 team for Chris Olave.
Yeah.
And we had T-Mac on the team too. Not that he would have mattered, but I'm like, oh my God, we're about to get it. We're about to get overtime, right? The Lions are like trailing. We need Gibbs to do something, and we need Olave and I'm like, and we're going to advance. Like things are looking pretty good. And then this dipshit linebacker for the Carolina Panthers just runs up, and everyone knew he was sliding. My grandmother could have been watching the game and knew he was going to slide. And this dude just smokes Shock. Like, what? I couldn't believe it. Then they lose.
It's not like they had the playoffs on the line or anything like that.
It's like literally playing for your entire season, and you're playing the fucking Saints. And it was the most obvious, like, we're going to run a quick draw to try to get 5 yards or whatever. Anyway, there's so much of that, right? And all that in every game we could pick something out, right? Zay Flowers drops a touchdown. Like, what are you doing, buddy? Justin Jefferson drops a touchdown he should have caught. Also, JJ McCarthy should, like, maybe not throw it 400 miles a fucking hour when he's wide open in the corner of the end zone. Like, there's just like, everybody has those things, right? That you're like, man, we ran so bad on that type of a thing. But if everybody has them, it's because we're all like you benefited somewhere else from someone else running bad there too. So it just is what it is. It's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of tilt.
Was there anything funnier last night than on that opening Vikings drive? Collinsworth and God, I forget who his other guy is there.
Tirico? Yes, Tirico.
Yeah, Tirico. They're sitting there, they're talking, and they're like, JJ McCarthy last week played a hell of a game. They're really good back. They're happy in Minnesota. He didn't throw any interceptions. What will he do on this first drive? And literally that play, he drops back and throws a pick. It was the most amazing thing of all time.
I loved it so much. It was I audibly laughed and insta posted into the Discord. Just like, what a start. Now credit to JJ McCarthy, and all the stands are feeling good or whatever today. But like, that's a great like little synopsis of week 15. It's like, congrats, you had a great regular season. You had a great week last week, JJ. Here's you pooping the bed like instantly to start the game, and that just is what it is. But let's hit some of these folks' comments. We can get into some of our teams and some of the chaos and everything. We're going to talk about some of our advancing teams and what our advance rates were and all that different kind of stuff. And there are going to be times like I was just complaining about Jahmyr Gibbs or the stupid Carolina Panthers. What I want to say is like, it's also okay to like don't let somebody tell you like that you shouldn't care. Like, don't complain about that. Like, you know, whatever. It's like when it goes over the top to, like you said, like there's a difference between like tilting and whining.
Yeah.
To me. And that's the big thing is me. Like, don't let yourself become a whiner about it. But also like, look, you spent a lot of time. This is a hobby you care about. It sucks when you don't run good. You can let it out, right? This is a safe space. This is a safe space. We had a candlelit vigil on Friday morning for the non-Kyle Pitts teams that we all drafted, and you know, we can do it again tonight and see how many we can get through and see if we can run hot. See, like this, like, dude, who could have predicted this? Derek says, I lost my best ball season to Jalen Naylor with his second touchdown of the game. Jalen Naylor scores 2 touchdowns, and you lose, like, and just like that's insane. No one could have predicted that, right? It's
just
just
a Vikings wide receiver.
Always a freaking Vikings. What the Vikings wide receiver 3 is quite a. We need to remember that one for next year. Yeah. They're gonna have multi-touchdown games in the fantasy playoffs.
Week 15, always week 15.
KJ Osborne, Addison, and Jalen Naylor have all done this.
What I want to say before we start hitting the comments on that, on the whining versus, you know, like whatever. When you start like comparing what other people are doing in their pods and shit, that's the bitch move, right? Like I didn't get any teams through, but Liam got 5 teams through. Like, shut up, dude. Like, like he drafted the teams too, right? It, you know, it's not like he did anything special. Like he got his teams through. That's great. But like, just don't compare yourself to other people. Always worry about your process. It's the bad beat story. It's like, I got knocked out by this guy that had 7-8 of spades. It's like, okay, well, what position was he at the table? What did you do here? What did you? I don't know. He just had 7-8 of spades. It's like, shut up. So then you don't know.
Right,
you don't know. Like, maybe go study those 5 teams that Liam or Herzig got through. Right. Mm-hmm. See what you're doing wrong. See what you could have maybe learned from those teams being drafted, rather than bitching about it. Like, just go make yourself better. Like, other than like trying to throw shade on other people. Like, look at those advancing teams from anyone else that you're like, oh, this guy got 4 teams through. How did Pat gets teams through to week 16 every year? What is he doing that I'm not doing? What are these teams that he's constructing that I'm not constructing? How do I do that? That's like what you should be doing if you just want to be in the grand scheme of things. Like, not the crying because somebody that's done well before does well again.
I'm gonna cry about Pat because I get to talk to him, you know, every so often, and
right?
And he's the worst because even when I beat him, which doesn't happen very often because he's very good at this game, even when I beat him significantly, might I add, Underdog gives us the same amount of payouts like they did 2 years ago in Best Ball Mania. I can get top 10 and get 30 grand, and Pat can get 32nd or whatever and get 30 grand. Like, congratulations, Eric. Even when you beat Pat, you don't really fucking beat him. That's what I've learned about Kareem, is I can't ever actually beat him. This is also a good point from Rick. Like, right, like, so like he says Jewish McCaffrey on Twitter, you know, big Underdog user, is gonna go 0 for 50 in BBM. Jewish McCaffrey's very good at this. He's a very serious player, and he he is the 50. He is like the epitome of the example I gave before, and it happens. And it doesn't mean he was bad. He was wrong. It doesn't mean he was bad. It doesn't mean he was right. You know, it doesn't mean anything. It just is, right? Like, sometimes the playoffs, that's what it really is. It's like we really try to draw stuff away from it, and I think you can do some good. Like, you can do stuff like you just said. The comparison is the thief of joy, right? That quote or whatever. Like going in and like looking up other people's teams to like compare yourself to them and like get triggered, like, oh, look at this guy advanced a 165 and my 165 went up against a 205, and it's like, dude, don't do that. Like, don't do that because it's a bad look. B, don't do that because it's not good for you. Like you said, if you want to spend the time and like figure out some things and get better, for sure. But also sometimes something doesn't shake out in one tournament and it shakes out better for you in another, in a year, in a sport, right? Or in playoff, like something might work out your way in playoff best ball that doesn't work out your way in regular season best ball. We get to keep playing this game. That's what I really do love about best ball, is that it's not like a daily thing like DFS, right? Or like if you're grinding poker or whatever on a day-to-day basis, where the grind can like get to you a little bit too. This is like, all right, okay, so this season didn't go very well for me. Now let's attack playoff best ball. Like, start clean. You still got a little bit of time. Re-strategize around a new game, right, or whatever. Toss in some college football teams or whatever. Like, there's just so many ways to attack this game, and it's a ton of fun. But again, it's so hard to talk about like this week, I feel like, because everybody's experiencing those same emotions, and I guess that's what we're really here to do, is be like, look, I know, like, it sucks. Everybody's feeling this sucky ass feeling, right? Where you're like, I had 150 teams left. I'm just making up a number, and I'm going to have 5 next week. Like, what did I do all this for? That's how you're feeling. Like, what did I do all this shit for? You know what I mean? But like, that's the math. Like, it's just how this game works. You're most of the time only going to have a handful of teams in week 16, and you're lucky to get anything into week 17. It's just, I think we convince ourselves that like, it's just we're always going to run good, or maybe it's easier to get there than it really is. I think maybe we do that too, because like, we're serious players, right? We're super serious. We're real serious players. We take this seriously. We think we're pretty good at it. And so I think that we just expect that we're going to flip over the cards and like, we're going to have aces, right? It's going to work out for us. And it's just, I hate to say it, like, it just doesn't always go that way. Most years it won't.
Especially if you're players like us, where like, I think I don't want to speak for you. I think maybe you played the year before, but I've been playing since the year of BBM 2. Maybe I played the first year. But I made the finals like 3 years in a row, I think. 2 or 3, whatever. So it felt like you were just going to be there every year. And guess what? You ain't.
Right.
You are not going to be in that final every single year. It's not a thing that's going to happen. I mean, I think, in fairness, the only person that's ever done it is Herzig.
Herzig, I think.
Right. And clock's ticking on that for him at some point too. Maybe he gets through this year, he doesn't next year. And I bet you he understands that, like more so than other people, but it's a tough game, man. That's the toughest tournament to advance in. If you want something that's a little easier, there's tournaments that are easier to advance in. The sting of the cumulative doesn't hurt as much because you're just watching teams die on a week-to-week basis, and you're just like, all right, well, it's just these teams. But like, it's the same journey. It's just not as painful because you're only counting on like 1 or 2 of the cumulatives that can actually maybe do some noise if you're lucky, as you watch the other team just sort of middle it throughout. But it just, because you could see it week to week, it doesn't hurt quite as much, but it is literally the same thing if you think about it.
Exactly. I will say one thing that I do like to use this as you mentioned like the different tournaments, and just taking some of the moments where like across this stupid ass best ball journey that we sign ourselves up for, to try to remember like how you're feeling in some of those times. And like I'm gonna have one. It's not even like up for debate. I have no sweats to get any more teams through, and my one BBM team that's left is not gonna. It has a 50-point lead or something like that. So like it's over. It's a hilarious team. We're gonna look at it. It's an absolutely hilarious team, but it's like both good and awful at the same time, which I feel like is like the epitome of a week 16 team. You're like, oh yeah, I can see it, and also like this might score 40 points. In week 16.
It's always the week 16 team.
Yeah, that's because you're like, you had to have some weird combo, right, of the good guys in week 15, and so you're like it's spoiler, it's a Trevor Lawrence team, and Penix is the other quarterback. So it's like, oh god, Lawrence against the fucking Broncos, and it has Pitts, of course, and so it's like this could get ugly in week 16. But also you can see the upside. So anyway, I do like to think in the moment, and like I haven't written something down in like a decade or something, but think like remind myself of like, okay, if this really sucked so bad, right? Like, there's no rule that says you have to play BBM, like even as a content creator or whatever, right? Go find the tournaments that advance more. Go find the smaller field stuff. Go max all the small shit. Go like I'm advancing some King of the Desert stuff. It's like, oh, that sounds stupid. Like we use it as a joke in our tiny little bubble, but like, dude, 10 grand spends the same no matter what tournament you win it in, right? And you have a better chance of winning that. And not only do you have a better chance of winning that from this week where everything feels like it sucks ass, you have a better chance of having that positive expectation next week. Like, You may not win any more money. You might lose more money than you did before, but you at least have a chance to be like, to have something to enjoy for those final couple of weeks. And if that's important to you, maybe it isn't, right? Maybe you're a stone cold killer and none of this shit matters. But I imagine most people care. Most people care about, like, I would like to have teams to root for in week 16 and specifically in week 17. So, like, if you got to adjust the tournaments that you play in, like, do that. And I don't think we do a very good job of that, like, in best ball as a whole. Everybody just, right, BBM is like everyone judges everybody else. It's like, that's the one, like, we're judging everyone off of the Millie Maker.
Yeah,
like, that's it, right? Like the main event at the World Series of Poker is the only thing, right? That I don't think that's right. There's a bunch of bracelets at the World Series of Poker, but nobody cares about your pointer, right? Or the Chihuahua 6 or whatever. Like, nobody cares about that stuff. And it's like, I don't know, that dude won 50 grand. That seems pretty fucking.
I'd rather
He won 50 grand and won a best ball tournament. That seems pretty good, right? It doesn't always have to be the flagship stuff, even though that's like the big sexy thing, because it has it has life-changing money at the top.
It's something I did this year. I focused the majority of my resources into playing cumulative scoring, right? Like, I only threw in 59 BBM entries, I think, and 50 on DK, and I limited my tournament exposure, and I just wanted to, because I wanted to get better at cumulative for next year, so that when next year comes, now I can make my tournament selections. Like, do I want to focus on cumulative this year? Do I think I have a better edge in that? Do I think I want to play the lottos? What do I want to play more high stakes? That's the other thing you can do as well. Those tend to have better advance rate. If you want to, you could do this both ways. You can stop playing some of the lower end stuff, play less tournaments, but play a higher buy-in that has better advance rate. Or if you want to take more bullets, then you just stop playing the high buy-in, right? And you start playing the lower ones. It's whatever you want to do. Like, you need to curate your bankroll to what you think is fun. Like, if I had a certain amount of money to go play tournaments in the World Series of Poker, right? Like, I would play tournaments that I thought I would benefit from playing the most, which is what are the 6-max tournaments? That's generally my best tournaments. So, like, what is your 6-max? Is it the pointer? Is it the Dalmatian? Is it the DK $20, $100 3-max? Like, those tournaments are fun as hell. So look at that stuff. Do you do better in time box stuff? Are you better at processing the current information more so than other people? Like, check that stuff. Mark down your time box tournaments. Like, are you advancing at a better rate because you're processing what's going on with the teams better than other people at that point in time? Then do that. Are you doing it worse? Then play the stuff that's all year long, right? So, like, there's so many things you can be doing to get yourself better than bitching about your advance rate right now. There's so many things to study. The Spike Week tools are 40% off right now to look at all of this stuff, right? Like, because we put your whole portfolio out there for you. You can look through what tournaments you're advancing the best in.
And your opponents.
And your opponents.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, that is the stuff. Figure out what kind of player you are, where you're good, where you can get better, how you can make the most money. Tournament selection, bankroll management. These are the important things.
100%. This is an interesting point from Rob. He doesn't like DK being 1 of 12. I will say not every DK tournament is 1 of 12. And certainly some underdog tournaments vary it up, like some puppies, are like 1 of 10 and stuff like that. But like BBM is 1 of 16. There is no more difficult tournament. And again, that's what I'm not saying that's what Rob is not this Rob, but the Rob in the chat is saying prefers underdog, but and that's completely fair. But also some people will only judge you off of like, how did your BBM season go? And it's like, I don't know. Like, I play that because it's I could spend $3,000, right? But less than $4,000. I'm gonna get something back, right? Probably gonna lose it, but I could lose that on a DFS Sunday. I could lose that on an NFL Sunday anyway, right? And I get a chance at multiple millions of dollars, like that. I'm expecting to lose, and that's what Flyfish is like. Are people really I think. Yes and no. Are people unrealistic about their advance rates? I think mostly it's just emotion that comes out at this time of year. People care, so the emotion comes out, right? But I also do think some people just assume that they're gonna run good. Like, I don't even know how to expect. I think there is a sense of a little bit of unrealistic expectations from people, whether it's like they actually like I think they know, like if you ask them, like, what you're expected to like not, you're like probably not going to make the finals, like on in any tournament. I think they would say yes, but like when you're in it, right? Like you think you got your money in good type situation. You like you think a 60-40, right? You think a 60-40 and it's 60-40, but like your brain like skews it to like 95-5. You know what I mean? When you lose, you're like, I ran so bad. It's like, I don't know. It was kind of a coin flip, dude. But your brain tricks you into thinking like I'm supposed to, get to the finals and have a good team. And it's really hard. Like it's really hard.
Or it's new people putting real money down for the first year and not understanding. Like, do you remember the first time like you stopped playing poker with your friends and you went to a casino and you sat down at a casino table? Because you were like, as you're walking in, you're like, I kick my friend's ass all the time. I win tournaments all the time. I'm gonna sit down. I remember
vividly. Yeah.
Yeah. I got lucky my first time going to a casino, but I remember the hand I got lucky on.
Dick kicked in and I did the go to the ATM and get more money thing because I was so mad.
Dude, I limped aces like on a cash game where 4 people had limped in, and I was the 5th to limp aces, like an absolute idiot. Like, and I got bailed out because the button tried to steal, and then and then I was able to make money. But like, I look back on that hand, I remember how it played out. I'm like, what was I doing? Like, it was free money, and I'm sitting here trying to make it hard for myself. Like, so yeah, it's that whole thing too.
I've never actually told anyone this, and Mom, if you're listening, I apologize for lying to you for 16 years. But by my 21st birthday, my parents took me and my sister. My sister's younger than me, but we all went to Vegas, and it was like it was a family trip, but it was kind of for my 21st birthday, and that was it was poker boom time, right? Like a little bit after, like I was still playing, but not quite as I was like a high school poker player. Like 18, 19 was when I was really like literally like 3 weeknights and every Saturday was poker back then. And then I had weaned myself off a little bit. But anyway, I'm 21. I don't really feel like hanging out with my parents, and my sister's younger and she can't drink or anything like that. So like I was spending some time in Vegas, like by myself. And I'm like, I told like one of the nights, I'm like, I'm going to go play poker. And I'm going to go play by myself. Like, I'm not going to like, please don't, be around or whatever. I'm going to go play poker. And I got absolutely fucking pummeled. Like absolutely pummeled. I'm 20. I just turned 21. It's my first time playing in a casino and in Vegas. And I think same thing. Like I was like one of the better players, like in, like our little area and stuff. Me and one specific guy were pretty good, but like nothing to write home about. And I was like the most mid-ass online player you've ever seen in your entire life. But like I thought I was pretty good, right? And I mean, just got straight pummeled. Went back the next night and did well. And it was kind of like this best ball stuff where like I immediately learned my lesson. Yeah. Like it was like you had to get your teeth kicked in. It's like you learn when you get punched in the mouth. And like I got punched in the mouth, and it was like, oh, this shit's real. Like you can't just walk in like to your home game and just rob these guys blind. Like you have to play. You got to actually play. And I did well the next night. But I've always only ever told my parents about how I did, like how'd it go? The poker table was like, oh, did great. Whatever. Ignored the fact that I did not even come back to breaking even because I lost so much money on the first night. But it was a good second night, and that's how I feel a little bit about all these games, but best ball specifically, where it's like sometimes you just can't. It's got to suck, and like that you'll learn that lesson, and that can be a segue into some of the folks' teams, but some of our teams as well, where like. I'm probably not going to ship anything monstrous this year. We were real close this week, but sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and it is what it is. I've had the ball bounce my way. Like I've told the story before, right? About like that year that I joked about Crane, when Crane and I both were in the BBM, not the year he won it, but like, I don't know, man, I didn't have an Amari Cooper team and like, and still got through a pod, like got pretty lucky from a pod variance perspective, and then ran hot in the final, and, and Amari Cooper sits out. Like what the fuck? Yeah. Like that was insane. That was absolutely insane. So I can't complain when I really kind of sun ran that year. If, Jahmyr Gibbs scoring 9 points, like really hurts me this year. Next year, it'll be different, or in the play, like last year in playoff best ball, I ran pretty good. This year it just is what it is. You know what I mean? It bounces back and forth. You can't it's just an annual thing. So you like fixate on it so much. It's like if you only played one poker tournament a year, right? Or one DFS slate, an entire year, yeah, you would like be triggered if it didn't go your way. But that's just how it goes.
I haven't played one poker tournament this year. I don't
Really?
think I played in 2 years. I don't think I've played poker.
Oh, I haven't played in forever. COVID? I think last time I played was the pandemic.
I think since I played the main event, I think I've played online a little bit, like little pissy games, but like in person, I don't think I've played 5 times since I played the main event. What, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah,
whatever it was.
Whatever. Yeah. Shout out to Jamie. This is, first of all, also we're old. Shout out to you, Jamie, for sneakily admitting that you're at least as old as us. But yeah, so that was 16 years ago. 16 years ago this May. I was born in May. So 16 years, 16 and a half years ago. And Jamie was killing the main event at that time. Those were better days. Like you basically had to like get on the internet to send a text message on your cell phone back then. And like, I'm just a 21-year-old wandering around Vegas with like no real way to contact my parents and stuff like that. Like, what a time. Like, now everybody knows where everybody, like my wife was showing me her friend group and they all share their location with each other. And she was like, do you think this is weird? And I was like, yes, it's exceptionally fucking weird. But also I know that that's what that's what people do. And I'm weird for thinking that's weird. But like,
I've had this conversation too.
Really? Is it? Is that something you guys do, or you think it's weird also?
Oh, I will never share my location ever. Because
I won't share it with my wife.
I won't share it with anybody, like ever. Like that's to me that's insane.
It's not because I'm hiding something. It's just because I just find that weird, and maybe that's stupid of me. But it's bizarre to me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did with my current girlfriend. We were talking. I was gonna go do like this. I was either selling or buying something from like Facebook Marketplace, and she's like, "Put your location on." I'm like, "No." Like, I'm an adult, so I'm not putting my location on.
Yeah, I know it's weird, and I know, especially the comment that I just made makes me sound like a bad person. I tell my wife absolutely everything. I mean, I tell her every nickel I spend on best ball and all that kind of stuff. So trust me, she knows about how messed up of a human I am. Maybe that's why I don't care if I share my location, because she's like, Jesus Christ, look, I know what this dude does for a living. There's nothing he could possibly do that's worse than sitting at his desk drafting fantasy football teams all year round. But no, I just find it weird. Yeah, I don't really have a good explanation for it. I think it's a little bit of a boomer in me that like it's just weird to me that like someone can just track where I am at all times.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's not even just about that person. It's just
no, it's not. It has nothing to do with the person. It has to do with like it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Max asking, you had that nice run of the main and then just stopped, buddy. I don't know if you know my schedule, but I work 90, 95 hours a week between everything I do. It's just impossible right now. Yeah. I want to carve some time out, but I miss it. I do. I will go back to playing it, but it's sometimes when you're pursuing other things, you have to give things up that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing I had to give up.
Yeah, it sucks. This is a very good point by Jason. We don't got to go into that, but I agree. A very good point. Derek has some good questions. If you get a lineup through this week, how much money do you get back on Underdog? That is, of course, tournament dependent. Here's what I'll say. Another part when we were talking about like tournament structures and stuff like that, and like the payout structure stuff is wild. So like Underdog is pretty brutal from a payout structure perspective. And I don't mean like in the finals are generally fine, right? Like 20 or 25% to first place, whatever, a pretty standard payout structure. But you don't get shit back unless you make the finals. Like you don't get hardly anything. You might double your money if you get to week 16. A lot of the tournaments now, they're just like giving you your money back for advancing. So like go check. You can go into your app or on the website and go check. But that's the other thing to remember. Why do we all summer, right, talk about like, upside and like not caring as much about advance rates, more so caring about trying to build these super teams and like all this kind of stupid shit that we talk about all year, every year, is because this is a big part of it. Is like, dude, congrats, you got 5 teams in BBM to week 16. If you don't get to week 17 and like do okay, you get wiped out just like everybody else does. You just made a couple $100 more. Like you literally made like $200 more than I did or whatever. Like it's just not substantial, real, actual dollars. And so everything is about getting to week 17 and having a team that can make a run in week 17. That's really like we say that's all that matters thing, but it really is when you go look at the payout structure.
Yeah, it's like the worst tournament payouts there is. Like, again, I'm going to compare it to poker, but like when you cash a poker tournament, it's not always like a double up, but it's close usually. Like it's, you make money off of it. Like if it's $1,000 tournament, usually you get back 1,500 just for min cashing at the minimum. Like, so to just get your money back it sucks. Honestly.
A couple of more good comments. First of all, Charles, wow, shout out. Also hilariously, Philip Rivers, avatar for the folks, audio listeners, currently sitting in third in the drafters main. Congrats and good luck. He's getting wiped out in his pods, but Charles, no offense, nobody feels fucking sorry for you.
I'll trade. I'll give you a BDM.
You can come you can come host this show for the next few months if you would like. If I can have that team that's in third place on drafters. So good luck. We're rooting for you. My best team's in like 300, so you ain't got to worry about me. And I think it's a different tournament. I had a sweat I have a really good team. Well, had a really good team in one of the $2, I think, or $3 on drafters. I was in the top 25, 30 for most of the season. And then, but it's a Kyler Michael Penix team. So, you know how that one is. I don't even think it's my best team in that tournament anymore because it's gotten zeros at quarterback for so long. Cool. I did not. Rob says, someone from 1 week season wants to do a playoff best ball stream. I have not seen, but tell him to hit me up, DM me or whatever. I don't know where he mentioned that, but I'm more than happy to join anybody's playoff best ball streams. I'm going to be doing more this week here on Spike Week as well. So yeah, if you know him or something, put us in touch.
Wow, how do you know they were talking to you and not me? I'm offended. First of all,
I got nothing. Normally I'm a little wittier and quicker on my feet, but I don't check Twitter that much anymore, so that's probably why it is. Let's see. Yeah, DraftKings is a little less harsh. This is the most evergreen comment of all time. DraftKings is a little less harsh, but still harsh. Says Derek. Is like that could be about anything. The payout structures, like whatever. Absolute the variance in the pods, absolutely everything. There was something else that I wanted to pull up, and I might have missed it. But let's go ahead and segue. There's a bunch of people sharing some actually like really awesome copy paste. Still a 20.9. I don't know how you're advancing 0.9 teams, or if that's just your expectation.
We might have a team that needs to do something tonight.
Well, it's perfect segue. Copy paste has 20 or 21 teams, close to 21 teams getting through. By the way, incredible work. That's amazing. 21 teams getting through tonight. Also, RGT was feeling bad. This is like the flip side of everything we talked about, for the first half hour or so. Like you felt bad through week 14 and then you ran pretty good in week 15. Like that can happen too. It's a funny game that we play. So Henny mentions it. I'm leading with this because I don't really have a sweat tonight. Like I said, most of my pods are decided. I have some stuff that like I need Achan not to go like totally nuclear, which is fucking terrifying right now, but most of the stuff is decided. I want to pull up which I should have done this already, so I apologize, but I want to pull up the 2 5-5-5 teams. I have one, of course, that you and I share with Bernie, and then the just everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say the Darren Waller team makes me feel really stupid, but there's a couple of fun sweats is not the correct term, but they're sweats. They are technically sweats in tonight's game in the 5-5-5. Let me pull that up right now. So here is the team that myself and Rob and Bernie drafted together into the DraftKings 5-5-5. It is currently in second, and in this contest, speaking of the advance rate stuff, structures that we talked about before, it's 8-person pods. and 2 out of 8 advance. So obviously, as it stands right now, it is advancing. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that the team in third is 1.22 points behind with 2 players going tonight. And let me tell you, sometimes that is like actually a little bit comfortable because like they have some bad players and they need to hit high scores. Unfortunately for us, that is not that is not the case in this one. I'll do that first, and then we can just look at. We ran kind of bad on that team. But the key here is this person had a gravy man, has Justin Herbert counting as his quarterback, and he has Aaron Rodgers tonight. So basically, if Aaron Rodgers gets to 12 points, which if there were a quarterback outside of Kenny Pickett or some shit for this to do, like there's worse options to have than Aaron Rodgers, to need sub 11 points. But I mean, most quarterbacks are going to get 12 plus in a game. So it's really, really unlikely that that part, right? So it's a 2-leg parlay. Needs a really bad Rodgers game, but a really bad Rodgers game does probably lead to this team also has DK Metcalf. So DK Metcalf is on the team, and DK Metcalf starts counting Keenan Allen as his wide receiver 3 at 8.6. So we are like a 5%. Something like that. I would probably call it 5%, which accounts for injuries and stuff like that. Like it probably needs like a Rodgers injury or something, which I'm not rooting for that, but I'm just saying we're a big, big dog. Our team, just super quickly, Josh Allen was fine. Got a pretty good run out on Ja'Cory Cross-Gamera, aka Bill, with Chris Rodriguez sitting out this week.
Would have been nice if you got the fucking bonus.
I will say he had like 80 yards in the first half, and he finished at 96. Those 4 yards would be quite big right about now. 3.4 points to give us a little bit more of a cushion. You see, also we used Jahmyr Gibbs' score in the RB2, which is funny just to say out loud, at 9.8. Every play in that game where Jahmyr, like, okay, he had a bad first half, but like Jahmyr Gibbs can score like 25 and a half. And it was just like, just nothing was working. He's dropping, like he dropped a pass on like the second to last drive. And then they give Demont they get down to the 1, right? They get down to the whatever, the 2 or the 3. And I know that this is how it works. And Brady's like, well, they can't pass it. And I'm just sitting here like, fuck that, Dan. Run the goddamn, like, run it. Please, God, run it. With Gibbs, or just throw it to Gibbs. Absolutely anything. They throw it a million times, never get in. And then they go Wildcat with David Montgomery for a touchdown. It was like, just a little bit of a dagger. And then we talked about the Olave thing. Olave comes up just short of the bonus, and they don't go to overtime. And then Luther Burden hits our lineup at 14, and he missed like most of the second half with an injury. He hurt his ankle. Rashee Rice had 5 for 39 in the first half. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL at the end of the game. Josh Downs scored a touchdown in the first quarter and did basically nothing for the rest of the game. So, that just is what it is.
Guy doesn't get in. It's
right.
The Swift
DeAndre
show.
Swift scores 2 touchdowns. Monungai got stuffed a few times. Like, and I believe the guy chasing us has Swift. Yeah. So it's like if Monungai gets one, all of you watching this or listening to this or whatever, you have this exact same experience. You go look at one of your teams and you're like, if this happened, then that, right. And so when I say like it sucked, that it sucks. Like we're dealing with that too. In the one team we all like are like probably rooting for the most, because obviously it's a higher stakes, easier advancement, and $1 million to first place. And we're going to lose. And we ran a little bad, but it just, that sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. My other 555, I just wanted to quickly pull up. It is technically not dead. It is in third. These teams behind could like technically catch, but it's a pretty big long shot. We don't need to waste our time going through every permutation for a team that is not going to advance anyway. But Hoosier in second place has a pretty good team, and the ETN thing. I wanted to use this as a time to talk about the Travis. Did you see like the Travis Etienne like box score, like how he scored 31?
Yeah, dude. Because I played Trevor Lawrence in the fucking SPY yesterday at 1% ownership, but I didn't play him with Etienne.
Did you play BTJ?
Yeah.
Which I mean that was okay. It's just
but it got me to Gibbs and Puka, and I was just like, So like I had this team and it didn't even cash.
Yep, I had the same thing where I hit on some stuff, but I played Gibbs, and it got me Puka, but yeah, I played Gibbs, and it's like it was over. It was over from there. It doesn't matter that you're like cheap guys did some stuff. So anyway, but Travis Etienne, if you haven't seen the box score, I just want to say, out of everything that happened this week, right? All everybody's talking about is Kyle Pitts, and I get it. That was crazy, like truly insane. But like Drake London was out. The Bucs are like a kind of a, I know Bijan had a good game, but like kind of a pass funnel. And Pitts has cooked these dudes. Like the only good Pitts is like staying in the league based on the times he plays Tampa Bay every single season. Like he just cooks these dudes. And Kirk Cousins has been cooking these guys too, even the corpse of Kirk Cousins. It was crazy him scoring almost 50. But the Travis Etienne thing. So here's, if I read you this box score at the end of any running backs game, you would just assume like, oh my God, what a total dud. 12 carries, 32 yards, and 0 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Through the air, he had 4 targets. You would be like, oh my God. So this guy scored 7 points, right? Or something like that. 31.5 points with that line. It's got to be like the most obscene outlier you've ever seen, because he took 4 targets and turned 3 of them turned them into 3 catches and 3 touchdowns for 73 yards. Just insane stuff. But a pretty good team from this guy. And this other team is really, really similar to the team that I just showed you that I have, right? The team that I have versus what me, Rob, and Bernie have. Really, really similar, right? Olave, Gibbs, McBride, Burden. But again, like I don't know if people were watching, Zay Flowers dropped a touchdown in the corner of the end zone when he was wide open. It was not like a perfect throw, but he needs to catch it. And of course, it has Lamar too. Like if he catches that, it's over. We win, right? We move on. And that just sucks, right? Tony Pollard keeps doing Tony Pollard things. We literally use Tyjae Spears score. I literally use Tyjae Spears score, and same thing. Jahmyr Gibbs. It's like Burden gets hurt. Cam Ward. If Cam Ward scores that final touchdown that they just handed off to Tony Pollard, right? So it's again, this is not me like saying, oh, I should have advanced this team. It's just saying that's how it goes sometimes, right? I know the feeling, but the greatest thing ever has a chance to happen, Rob. It's down 11, 10.9 to be clear. I will say Ollie Gordon starts counting at 5. I'm not sure Ollie Gordon's going to touch the field, but a man can dream, right? About an Ollie Gordon, like 2 touchdown game, right? It technically is at least possible for Ollie Gordon to help. However, starting at 14.4, the man, the myth, the legend, Darren Waller has a chance to do the greatest thing you've ever seen in your entire life with 25 fantasy points tonight. I would lose it. Like I would absolutely lose it if Darren Waller somehow goes like totally nuclear against the Steelers to advance this team. Spoiler, it's not going to happen. But I just wanted to put it out there that if you watched the Darren Waller 555 stream, this is that team, and I'm going to be rooting for Darren Waller like I've never rooted for anyone in my life. I'm team Kelsey Plum over Darren Waller, just to put that out there. But tonight, Kelsey Plum can get fuck right off, and we're all aboard Darren Waller.
He hits it. He can write as many songs as he wants.
100%. I'm just gonna go through this super quickly because I am advancing. I'm advancing like this total smorgasbord of teams on Underdog. Like I have one super flex team. I have like a puppy, a schnauzer, a big board, whatever. I'm advancing like I think like 6 teams, and they're like spread out across different tournaments. I just want all everybody cares about is BBM, and this is my one Best Ball Mania team that's going to advance. And like I said, it's
191 is wild.
191. So Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, and Trey McBride,
Jesus,
all on the same team. That's 115 points between those three, those 3 guys. But it's not going to make it through next week because some of the matchups are pretty bad. But JT, Harvey, the Scadaboo thing is really brutal. If Scadaboo was on this team, it would be pretty gnarly. But Javonte, Harvey, JT's like, even with Phillip Rivers is like, okay. JT does play San Francisco this week, so I have a little bit more hope for him to score against San Francisco because that defense is awful. But the running backs are like, it's only those three because it's Scadaboo, Jarquez Hunter, and Miles Sanders.
Oh yeah.
I have barely ever drafted Miles Sanders, so naturally he's on my only remaining BBM team left. And then CD, JMO, Godwin, Debo, Trey Harris. So that's fitting.
Yeah.
It's fitting that Darren Waller is a sweat, and it's fitting that Trey Harris is on my last BBM team. Alec Pierce, which is like, was such a good pick and is stone dead with Phillip Rivers. Like that motherfucker can't even see Alec Pierce down the field. Nonetheless, get the ball to him 20 yards down the field. And then Diami, corpse, and Devon Vele got hurt. But like interesting team, probably going to die next week. Like I said, score like 70 points or something. But just wanted to pull that one up. Those are kind of the main teams that I'm talking about. Getting a couple DK Millies through a couple other teams. But those are the kind of fun sweats or fun ones to look at.
I have a couple fun sweats that we can look at as well, if you would like.
Yeah, because I don't really have any good ones. The other thing is like, do you have this where I have a team that like if Achane and Jalen Warren both like have like real big games, like say 30 from Achane, like 20 something from Jalen Warren, I'll get a DK Millie team through, but that would crush other team. Like I need, I can't afford that to happen for other teams. So I'm kind of just rooting for that. It's just go Darren Waller and Ollie Gordon and that, and everybody else can like take the night off.
Well, let's start with the most illustrious tournament in all of best ball, which is the Pointer. We're going to look at that.
The Pointer
first.
one, correct? Just
the Pointer
clear.
one. Yeah. It's the regular Pointer. So this is a 6-man pod. And if you look at our score, we are currently 0.3, 0.38 behind. So we need 0.4. We have Bushy in front of us who has, I believe, nobody tonight, which is correct. Oh, he has Darren Waller. But Darren Waller would have to score over 5 to start counting now. So we're on the opposite side of the Darren Waller wars. You are muted, by the way. But we are not dead because we have, I believe it's a running back. I thought I had a running back here. I guess I don't have a running back. Oh, no, I have Jalen Waddle.
Oh,
that's what.
When does he start? He starts at 4.
He starts at 4.
You're in good shape.
So we have a battle on our hands to win the illustrious Pointer. So we're going to be tracking that. And
I can't believe we're at odds of you Waddle versus Waller tonight.
The 2025 Darren Waller Wars.
Amazing.
All right. We're here to start with this Allen Chase McBride team that's in 3rd place. This is just brutal. I got 2 teams that are actually, if I don't win, I feel real bad for this dude because he is going to lose by 0.1 if I don't win.
God, he's done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys are both done. Let me double check that. But as we scroll through their team, yeah, they got the guy in first has nobody. The guy in second is also done. No, he has Freiermuth.
So he's done. He's done.
He's done because he doesn't start counting till 17.7.
Yeah, so absolutely not.
So he's done.
He might catch a couple passes, but he ain't scoring 17 on Underdog. Certainly not on Underdog.
We have Jalen Warren, who starts counting at 4.3. And we have Jalen Waddle, who can start counting at 6.4. So down 19.
Say the numbers again.
Yeah.
When does?
So either of them can actually start counting at 4.4. But if both of them are going to score points, then Warren's going to start scoring at 4.3. And Waddle's going to start scoring at 6.4.
Oh, okay.
And we're down 19. So it's definitely a reasonable thing.
It's a hefty order, but it's completely reasonable.
Now for this pot of fuckery that we're in here. we're in first with 125.92, which is embarrassing for everybody else that's behind me.
Oh, what the fuck? You get all the easy pods.
But I have no one left to go, if I remember correctly. Like, I think we are just stone done, which we are. All of these guys are done until we get down to the guy that's 6.5 points down from me. And he has Jalen Warren and Jalen Waddle.
Oh, jeez.
So it's the inverse. He starts scoring at 6.1 and 5.7. So what I don't want to happen is I don't want a middle.
Yep.
I don't want a middle. I would like to just get this Allen, Chase, McBride team through. It's Allen and Herbert. It's Travion Henderson. It's DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren. The rest of the running backs are a bit tough. But it's Jamar Chase, Tet, Jalen Waddle, Burden, QJ, and then Trey McBride. So I'd like to get one of them too. The other one is also a Allen, Chase, McBride team that had Mahomes on it. So like it's a one quarterback team, but that's what I'm looking at in terms of advancing right now. So I'm really looking at this Waddle Warren, the Jalen's, if you will. We need the Jalen's to, and then I just got absolutely dusted on DK. I think I have one team that I think if Achane does well, it can advance, but I think that's all I got going on over there.
Rabona did ask how many of you guys advancing on DraftKings. I will just share super quickly a couple of quick non 5-5 because I don't think either of the 5-5s are going to get through. I shouldn't say that. Darren Waller's going to lead us to the promised land. The best team. This team is not officially in. If Achane goes crazy, this one's in a little bit of trouble. I do have Jalen Warren defense, but he has to get to 12 to start playing defense against Achane. But ultimately, I'm kind of fading like a 35 is probably my ballpark of Achane. Again, assuming Jalen Warren, we're all assuming Jalen Warren plays first. Actives and inactives probably are out now. We should know, but he said he was going to play. So if he is out, please drop it in the chat. I assume somebody already would have if he was out. But this is another one of those things where like you don't get to pick and choose where your best teams are. Also, like you said, you're pulling up a pointer, and like sometimes would you rather it be in maybe a little bit of a smaller one? I don't know, right? That's a conversation for another day. What I will say is, if you hate the solo tight end, thank you. OMG says Warren is in. If you hate the solo quarterback approach that we like a little bit more for certain tournaments, close your eyes because you're not going to like this one because it is a solo Jalen Hurts team. I will say, I put this in the Discord earlier. This is my best team. Like, I'm not sure it's particularly close that's left. And they gave me, the fantasy gods gave me like the nut run out on a zero running back room. Like it doesn't get a whole lot better than this from a zero RB running back room. And so they said, well, we're going to put it on a solo Jalen Hurts team just to watch you sweat during Eagles games. Because Hurts is grinding out 23 points, but you are not going to enjoy any moment of those 3 hours of him grinding out those points. So like I said, it's solo Hurts, but the running back room, ETN, and of course, Tootin is out now. So that's pretty good for ETN here down the home stretch. Javonte, Woody Marks, Kyle Monungai, Ray Davis, whatever, Tyler Algier, and Jalen Warren and Justice Hill at the back end. But that's like 6 dudes who can score real legit fantasy points at the running back position. Yeah. Like I don't have another. I drafted 1,500 teams. I don't have another team with like a zero running back team with those good with that group of running backs. And then it's a Jamar Chase team, which I'm like a little worried about the Bengals. If you watch that game, good God, they were awful.
How is Joe Burrow just Eeyore all of a sudden? Like, what is that situation?
Just put Flacco back in. I don't know what's going on here, man. It looks bad in Cincinnati, and then he's throwing an emo fit after in press conferences and everything. The vibes are bad. The vibes are bad in Cincinnati. But as long as Jamar Chase scores fantasy points for 2 more weeks, the vibes can be as bad as they want. But Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Jameson Williams, Juwan Jennings, Rashee Rice, Khalil Shakir, Matthew Golden is looking a little bit better if Christian Watson is banged up, and then
done, right?
And I would think so.
Yeah.
They did say that the positive report was, well, he doesn't have a collapsed lung, so that's
Great.
good. It's
good.
like, oh, good, yeah, he's not dead.
Does he have a collarbone? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. But this team, and then tight end, right? Goddard, Ferg, and Fannin. Like this team has a legit really good shot. Of course, I gotta fade Achane if Warren doesn't have a good game. But like this team is the one I'm most excited for. I'm advancing a couple of Millie teams. Unfortunately, another thing, sick and twisted fantasy gods. I have 2 Millie teams moving on. They're like mostly good. It's nothing is technically a lock ever, right? But like they're pretty solid. This one I do like because I can tell myself a story that Goff has a good final 2 weeks because it's just the Lions and they're going to be playing for their lives. Both of my Millie teams have fucking Mahomes. How is that possible?
It's amazing.
But yeah, like a Goff team where the receivers are, especially if Burden is hurt, not awesome. But it's Gibbs, Bucky, which is pretty cool. I would love to get Gibbs and Bucky through. Like I obviously didn't use their scores, and to get Gibbs and Bucky through, I'll just kind of live with the results, right? If we can get those guys through.
Bucky, this is a secret just between me and you and nobody that's watching. I feel like Bucky is the cheat code in playoff best ball right now at this exact moment.
See, I think it might be Evans, but it kind of the same sentiment. I think that's totally fair. I just moved those guys, both of them, up in the rankings because the Panthers are fucking incompetent, and all they had to do was beat the Saints. All the Panthers had to do was beat the Saints and then beat the Bucs once. They're allowed to lose to them once, right? Because they play twice down the stretch here, and they couldn't beat the fucking Saints. So now the Bucs have the stranglehold on the division, just like absolute incompetence, especially now. Evans is back. Bucky is back. Wirfs is back. The Panthers are cooked.
I like all the Bucs, but just like for the positional opportunity of Bucky,
especially like on DK.
That's what I did today. I built my first $20 on DK, and I was like, I can get Bucky back here with this Patriots and Rams team that I'm building.
The other guys have risen up. So like I was using like the Jags or like the Texans for a while at the back. Like you used to be able to get like ETN in the last round, Nico in like the second, third, last round or whatever, like a week and a half ago or something. Well, that obviously now Nico's going like at the 2-3 turn or whatever because things have changed so much. But now the Bucs lost right to the Falcons, and so everybody's like, oh fuck, it's over for the Bucs now. And then like really quickly there's the old snips, the Michael Scott snip snap right back and forth because nobody wants to win that division. But Bucky, Evans I think are like awesome.
They're going to be, if I had to bet on players that don't make it to the Super Bowl,
right, they're going to play one game. Like they're probably going to play one game because
they could play 2.
They're going to be the 4 seed against either Seattle or San Francisco. It's going to be which is not impossible, but
whatever.
Yeah,
but it's a home game too,
right?
Like they're not going to Seattle. Like, I don't know, dude. I'll take Baker. I'll take Baker against fucking Sam Darnold. And like I understand like Seattle's defenses
and against Seattle has the defense. San Francisco has the offense. So like you could tell yourself the story about Tampa Bay against either one of them because the Seattle offense, like the story coming from that Colts Seattle game being about Philip Rivers, like, and I get why it is, right?
Yeah.
But like Philip Rivers just didn't lose it for him, which like props to him for not losing it for him. But all they did was check it down, throw screens, and hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor and just say, can we score like 17? And they couldn't. But Seattle was so fucking incompetent on offense that's why that game was close.
Yeah. And I don't know. If you're giving me one game, we know what happens to Sam Darnold when he melts down. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Just you get 2 games of Bucky Irving or Mike Evans, or I know this isn't a playoff best ball show, but the Bucs are like, give me the Bucs right now.
And the pendulum on the Bucs has swung back and forth so much that it does have like they're like, it's hard to figure out what to do with them. That's why they're cheap, like you said. And the other teams that have risen up, right? And then like the Chiefs are now, people were still drafting the Chiefs last week. Like, the Chiefs go away. I took a little bit of Cowboys before the Lions game a couple weeks ago. where it was like, oh, this might be a good, because if they would have beat the Lions and then they would have, if they ran the table, they probably make the playoffs. But obviously they lost two in a row.
They can't even beat JJ McCarthy.
And they can't even beat JJ McCarthy. So what kind of donkey would have drafted the Cowboys? So anyway, just super quickly, I'm excited. The receivers in this team are like not awesome. It does have, but like Gibbs, Bucky, and Pickens, to like get those guys through when after those dud weeks would like be pretty sick. I think I've lost some faith in George Pickens for sure, but he's still George Pickens on the Cowboys. That would be pretty fun. And then the other one, this is like my BBM team with Trevor Lawrence, where again, like I said, it has Patrick Mahomes. So it's a solo quarterback with Bo Nix, which is about the least trustworthy fucking possible thing you can have. Is like, you need 3 straight good Bo Nix games. Good luck, brother. Yeah. That is not going to happen. But
he's wild, man. He made a pass yesterday that I'm like, I don't know if other quarterbacks in the league can make this. Like maybe 5 other quarterbacks in the league can make this through. I think it might have been the Sutton touchdown.
Absolute fucking dime, like 45 yards outside the numbers, over the shoulder of Sutton, like in coverage, like perfect throw. And then he'll like run around like Caleb Williams and launch a ball like right into the fucking belly button of the linebacker or whatever. Like it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
But if Bo Nix has figured it out, I have a nice little Bo Nix double stack with both Sutton and Franklin. This is like the anti-Eric team, by the way. CMC, JT, Sutton. Like, I don't really love a lot of these guys, but it's not bad other than the Mahomes thing. Shakir also is on multiple of my I have like 2% Khalil Shakir across all of best ball, and he's on both of these teams. Tyquan Thornton, who did get a concussion, so he's probably cooked. Xavier Worthy, but it's not a horrible team. But again, I am beholden to Bo Nix, Jared Goff, and Trevor Lawrence, and Jalen Hurts for the rest of my best ball season. I can't possibly see how that could go wrong.
Hell yeah! And since we were talking about the Bucs and the Broncos, I had this epiphany over the weekend. I was like, you know who the next Cortland Sutton's going to be? Like the guy that just no one wants to draft, like where he's going to be getting drafted. It's going to be Ibuka every year. We're going to do this thing coming up for the next 5 or 6 years where everyone's going to be like, Ibuka's a 4th rounder. I don't like his profile. I don't like this. I don't like that. He's going to come out and he's going to do the Cortland Sutton thing every year. So I'm just like, I've already put it in my brain that as that conversation starts, I'm just drafting Emeka Ibuka every year at this point because he's good. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer, right, but he's good. He's a good football player. Cortland Sutton is a good football player, right? So
it's interesting how the Ibuka conversation has swung over the course of the season. Like the first 6 weeks was like, oh my God, is this guy a first rounder? You know what I mean? And he wasn't. He was running kind of hot, but then he's had such a bad 2 months after where it's like, how good is Ibuka really? And it's like the answer is somewhere in the middle, which is like you said, like that's the Cortland Sutton range, right? Somewhere in the middle. The autobiography about Cortland Sutton is titled Somewhere in the Middle, probably. Like, how good is Cortland Sutton? Like, I don't know. He's not Jamar Chase, but he's also not fucking Jacoby Myers. He's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
that was mean to Jacoby Myers. He's been playing fairly well, but it's a good bit. Just last thing, Rabona says, is there a DK Millie BBMDB type website out there? There's not. DraftKings does it. So DraftKings, this is going to be really nerdy getting in the weeds, but they do their stuff a little bit differently where each like draft that you do and then each pod and stuff is like its own like league almost, from like how they structure it on the back end. So like even like we can't, nobody can get that data and they don't release it. If you recall, they released like 20% of the DraftKings Millie data back in June or whatever. But we do track as much of it as we can at Spike Week with you can upload all of your stuff and all of your team. So it's not the perfect solution. You can't see every single team, but you can see as much of it as you could possibly ever see with Draft IQ. And of course, once we get into the finals, once we get links to the finals, we upload those to our tournament DB for DraftKings. And of course we have drafters and all that kind of stuff. Anything else before we get out of here for, week 15 sentiment? We covered a lot. go Darren Waller, go. I don't know. What are we rooting for tonight? How are you feeling?
Go the Jalen's.
The Jalen's.
Either blow up or do nothing.
Nothing.
but don't middle this for me.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Don't no like middle situations where like HN or Waddle or Warren or Waller or whoever score like just enough to knock me out, but like I don't have like my right, like Waller scores 18 and I'm like, this was an awesome game, and then I look up and like I lost a Millie team because Waller scored 18 and I was rooting for him the whole time, right. When I needed 25 or whatever. Like, if you're gonna do it, brother, just go straight 3 touchdown dunk on everybody. That's how I feel about the game as a whole. If it's gonna do it. Otherwise, give me 9-6, bro. Like, give punts and runs. Like, just give me the Arthur Smith, Mike McDaniel special.
Why do Monday night Pittsburgh games to us during best ball playoff season? It feels like every year. Like, I know we capped the year off one time when Felix won.
Nick Chubb, the Browns Steelers Monday night.
Oh, it was Browns Steelers. Like, what are we doing? Put them on Thursday. This should have been the Thursday game, right?
Yeah.
And then we should have got the Kyle Pitts game on Monday night. Can you imagine?
Can you fucking imagine if Kyle Pitts dropped 50 on Monday Night Football of Week 15? If you thought it was bad, the whining was bad after the Kyle Pitts explosion, if he would have done it on Monday Night Football, there would be like, we'd have to be like making sure a lot of people are okay. They would be.
People would have called in sick Tuesday.
100%. Liquor sales would have went up on Monday night across the nation. That's for sure. They'd be like, "This is weird." Like, well, Underdog lost their sports book, so people were firing second half pick'ems because Kyle Pitts had 40 fantasy points at halftime, and they all lost their BBM money. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We will see you guys next week. Enjoy the game. Enjoy week 16, all that fun stuff. I'm going to have some shows, of course, just like last week, over the course of this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, etc. Playoff best ball, covering more of my advancing teams, your advancing teams, what to look for in week 16. And then Rob and I will be back next week to discuss Monday Night Football, which next week, 49ers Colts. That'll be a little bit more fun one, probably, to discuss. Nothing better than Christian McCaffrey, who we never draft, and I have a team with Christian McCaffrey, and Phillip Rivers on Monday Night Football to decide who makes it to the best ball finals. I can't wait. Good luck tonight, and we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there, you can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.